Another rant request. This time it's from Dedge300. If I'm mispronouncing your name, please tell me. Excuse my voice. I'm getting over a cold right now, but don't worry, I'm alright. I'm not that sick anymore. This rant is actually, this is when I can sink my teeth into, because I actually want to know the answer to this as well. Why do people think Wind Waker, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, is a bad title? I don't understand this any more than I don't know. I just don't know. A lot of people say it's because of the graphics, because before Wind Waker was released, they showed a picture. Here's the picture right now. A picture of Link, how he was supposedly supposed to look for Wind Waker. And then when Wind Waker was finally released, Link looked totally different than how he looked in the picture that Nintendo released before Wind Waker was released. And actually, I don't know, I hear a lot of people saying they just don't like the graphics. They used cell shading in this game. They used a different look. And in my opinion, I liked it. It reminds me of those Chinese ink paintings. I don't know why, it just does. I just like how it looks. And of course, while graphics are a humongous part in the game, a part of a game, there are also other things, like the story plot, surprises as you play the game, weaponry, what things does the game give you to use, and like Zelda games normally have, games you could play in order to earn things like heart pieces or bomb bags, or, you know, things to upgrade your equipment. And Wind Waker has all of this stuff. I mean, we've got the pirate game that reminds me of Battleship with the cannons, and there's 2 places you can, and let's not forget the ghost ship. I loved that. In Wind Waker, there's this ghost ship. You have to go to a particular island in order to gain the ship's map, in order to find the ghost ship. And the ghost ship appears on certain islands when the moon is in a particular phase. Like it would appear only on a particular island during, say, a full moon. And within the ship holds a heart piece. I think it was a heart piece. I forget what. It's been so long since I've been able to play it. And then there's the constant needing to go around looking for finding the fishman in order to complete your map. Because when you first start out, the only islands that appear on your map are islands that you've already been to. And the only way you can get those squares filled out is if you go to the fishman and throw bait in the water. And what about the cool fact that you can make sculptures? There's this little island where the Deku tree, next to the Deku tree's island, the forest grove, that you can go to with pictures that you've taken with your photo box. You need to have a colored one. To do this, you need to get a firefly and bring it back to the man on Windmill Island, I think it was. And you bring him a firefly, you bring him a photo box, and he'll make you a colored photo box, and you can go around taking pictures of enemies, people, and you can get sculptures made out of it. And I think that's just really cool. And then you've got the scene at the very end of the game, the big fight scene. If you haven't played Wind Waker, I suggest you stop listening to this now in case of spoilers. I think this is pretty darn graphic. Remember in Ocarina of Time when we saw Link drive his sword into Ganon's head? Well, we get to see this again. Only this time I think here it's a little bit more graphic. Because we see the sword penetrating Ganon's head. We will literally, I really wish I could have gotten the dang video to show you this. But unfortunately, even though I went to IGN, which is where Slashmaster28 gets his usual vids, I could not for the life of me download the darn video for that scene. But, yeah. And we get the whole dramatic scene at the end where the King of Hyrule wishes on the Triforce for Zelda and Link to have a future. Because the whole game started out as it takes place 100 years after Ocarina of Time. And Ganon attacked while Link was out looking for Nevi. And the people were praying to the gods for help, and Hyrule was eventually sunk in order to disperse the evil. And Ganon was still alive. Removing the Master Sword just proved to be a dramatically huge mistake, but nonetheless you need the Master Sword. And then you can't use the Master Sword quite yet. You have to get the sages to help. Which, by the way, Ganon killed. This was voiced in the game with both of the people that were killed. It's just like it's further linking to Ocarina of Time as you go further and further on. Like the Okoks, if that's how the name's pronounced. They're the Kokiri, only they took on a different shape. And now they're much more feared of humans. And they can leave the grove now instead. It's just, so many people just look at the fact that Nintendo changed the look for this game, that it's bad, and it's not. Seriously, if you're a Zelda fan and you like Zelda a lot, definitely get this GameCube titled Zelda game. Don't listen to what everyone else says. Play it and make your own opinion. Because in my opinion, Zelda Wind Waker rules.